Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma Screen Time here, and it's another movie review for this weekend. And as the title would have, it is The Creator. So this is from the directing genius behind Star Wars Rogue One. This is the next project for that person. I cannot remember what his name is, so I'll try to put it in there. It's been a long time coming, really. I think 2016 was Rogue One, so 7 years for this person to then do a second directing. And yeah, I saw the trailer, I really liked it. Anybody who isn't aware, basically you have a semi-futuristic world where AI has evolved to the point that they are sentient beings, so to speak, even though they still help us out. There is a bomb dropped on Los Angeles, and 10 to 15 years, because there is a time gap in that. Basically, the humans want to eradicate the AI because the AI are in a kind of a area of Thailand where they live together in harmony and they don't want anything to do with the outside, but the outside world want to do it. They have this big craft space station called Nomad, who basically goes around and bombs the hell out of them. The story centres around the main protagonist. 10 years after this bombing, he's a kind of undercover agent, goes into the robot kind of clan to find the kind of leader of them. He's dating what he believes is the leader's daughter. She's pregnant. Unfortunately, the plan goes awry because the robots find one of this undercover spy's mates, and then it all leads out. And as as the main protagonist is trying to sort stuff out, trying to stop them doing a raid because that's what's happening, the woman finds out that obviously her husband is undercover. She goes off into the sea, and then a missile is launched, blows them all up. Fast forward 5 years' time. He has obviously been a previous war veteran. He's got a cybernetic leg and a cybernetic arm. He's still having a lot of issues. The army approach him and say, look, we found your wife. She is still alive. She's dealing with the alien, or the robots, I should say. And that basically they have a secret weapon. Will you go with my team to find it? He goes with the team, finds it. As the trailer releases, it's a child, and then it's kind of him actually kind of keeping the child, but he's keeping the child to try and find his wife, and then the mission snows on from there. The trailer shows it as a really nice visual film. Gives me the feels of very District 13, if that's the District 9 even, not District 13. That's Hunger Games. Acting was quite good. Unfortunately for me, it was worth a watch, but it has a lot of holes. The story, I don't think it could have been better. There are a lot of plot holes. There are a lot of scenes that are missed and stuff. There's nothing after the credits, so you don't have to worry about that. But even there, it just is. It needed a better story than what was produced there. Visually, it does look nice. It did. I saw it in the super screen. It did look visually nice, but I was a bit, I did hear a lot of unfortunately negative stuff before going to see it. So I was trying to not be as negative as I can and say some of the acting and stuff is good, but the story just didn't work that well. Anyway, let's bang the spoiler warning up as we normally do, and let's get into it. So, as I've kind of said and relayed a little bit, you have the main protagonist. Obviously, he is with his wife. She obviously is pregnant. Obviously, this is when the raid happens, and they find that obviously he is an undercover. She runs off. Bang! Bomb goes off in the. As she's in the sea. He wakes up 5 years later, and he's dealing with, he supposedly has memory loss. But because he was infiltrated their group, and they found that there's a secret weapon that will take out their Nomad. Like, if Nomad's destroyed, this is the case. This is where the story then starts to progress, and he decides he wants to find his wife, which already poses a set of questions. They live in an AI society, and then when they go to these part of Thailand and stuff, which is where they were kind of filmed in real life, which was great, which was done quite well. There's even like AI, donate your likeness to AI, and AI robots can have it, and they show a clip a little bit of that. So I'm like, the footage that they show, you couldn't really tell it was his wife anyway. B, it could easily be an android, and I was like, what's going on here? Anyway, so they go to the clinic, the army go in and shoot most of the people. He finds it's a kid. The kid escapes. He goes after it. Nomad bombs the place. He survives with the kid, and he's trying to take the kid, who was Alfie, trying to take it to find where he believes his wife to be, if she is still alive. Also within the team that was following him, the general, which was she is the main actress from Mum. I can't remember what her name is either. This probably I'll put pictures up of them today. Yeah, I thought she was really good. She was really nasty as kind of the evil general, and she had like this kind of psychic. Anyway, you kind of go on this, wrote zigzagging story, but there are just, I don't know, it's a 2 hour and 2 hour and 15-minute movie, but there are just chops and cuts and bits and scenes that just feel like they're missing. Like, he finds this kid, and then they get to this car, and then the car breaks down because the kid kind of has powers to start it, which I was like, well, surely the kid can restart it if he can power it. It didn't make sense why it broke down there. Anyway, he finds his people, and then he gets out with the gun behind his back, and then the next minute they're at a junction point, and I was like, but you've missed all that stuff that happened. Why would this man let you in? And I understand he kind of bullied his way, but why is that scene they're missing? And there were little bit of cyclists that kept giving, I mean, the 5 years, I mean, the very beginning of it, obviously we follow this main character. He finally finds the people that were working with his wife and that, and what her dad is supposedly the big boss or the creator of this weapon, and then it's realised that basically that she is the big boss, not him. She's been the creator of this behind the scenes because her dad died a while back, which was foreshadowed many ago. Literally the first scene you see of the little kid, and he's drawn a little symbol. It happens to be the tattoo on the daughter's back, who was pregnant. I was like, there you go. You blatantly know she is. So you can see stuff coming a mile away. Obviously then they go to this temple. They're still being hunted by all the robots and stuff. They find the wife. Unfortunately, she has been unconscious for 5 years. They download her memory, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to take out the armies and stuff like this by going up to Nomad, which is there. They then manage to get on a plane, manage to fly up to there, manage to blow up Nomad. The main protagonist sacrifices himself with an android of his wife, and then the kid unfortunately goes back to Earth, comes out his pod, and is really happy. And that is just, I say, it's all a little over the shop. Like, there's this common story of, that the robots bombed the humans, and that was the whole point of it. When you find out quite late into the movie that it was actually a glitch from the human side, that it was a calculation error of why the bomb was. I'm like, why is people not sending that out? Why are the robots not, trying to find that information to broadcast it to the world? To go, look, it's not us, them. They've been in a 10-15 year war with them. They've got the shittest weapons in the world, so to speak. They've just got normal guns. I think there's one kind of missile launcher, so most of the robots, unfortunately, because they don't want to sacrifice themselves, they're just being good, and the humans that they're living with, they then kind of move out of their way to not get killed when they're near the humans, which is really good. But I'm like, there needed to be more emphasis on this. There needed to be more world building on this. You needed to, I would have thought the AI, if you could create AI and how intelligent that is, you'd be able to create some weapons to, try and help defeat. Because obviously the government who are after them have this big Nomad spaceship who drops bombs and that, then you have these massive tanks and stuff, and then they have all these weapons and stuff, and I'm like, well, where's the weapons side for the aliens? That was very one-sided, or the robots, sorry, not the aliens. And it just seems that they just want to live together, but you think, well, if you've got to live together, then you're going to have to understand you're going to have to fight, or have a plan of action, because their plan of action is their leader builds this kid who could develop or will develop powers, but takes time and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, it just felt like a lot of holes and stuff moving, stuff very foreshadowing, or very blatant story. And to me, the person who directed this, apologies, I keep forgetting their name, you know, they did Rogue One. Rogue One was a really good story, and I think the thing that they worked so well with in that is because they had an established world already with Star Wars. We all know it all, you'll know, you know, even if you've really watched it, you know Luke Skywalker is, you know who Darth Vader is, you know, you have, he took this tiny little bit from one of the earlier ones about getting these plans and made it into a film, and it worked really well. This film was like, it needed to have an established universe for this film to make more sense in my eyes, and you know, and unfortunately it didn't work. I say there are a lot of plot holes. You know, the actors look good. Some of the designs of the vehicles and stuff I quite liked, but yeah, just even how the story progressed, it kind of misses bits, and it's going little back and forth, and I'm like, it's too little too late. You need to, you know, have a bit more consistency with world building and stuff, and you know, let's even like you can see that I've read, obviously there were influences from like Akira and Japanese stuff like that, and which just shows it, just like each section has kind of titles of it and stuff, and there is when the bombs happen and stuff, and the older ones there are like older images and stuff, and even that there was a bit like robots coming into the human world, and then they even have them competing in sports, and I'm like, would that really happen if you created a robot which could easily outrun any human being and stuff? Would you put it in any sports? And there's little bits like that that just didn't make sense. You know, you needed to have, in my eyes, the bomb going off, them seeing the destruction, seeing people that were killed, then having like 20 minutes with, this is what's happening, he's undercover, learning all this stuff, actually having some compassion, and then having the explosion going off. And then it would be like, she has a ring on and they say like you can't find the signal and stuff, and you know, and there's little bits of that, it's just like, I don't know, it at its core, the understanding of the AI is getting more intelligent and stuff, and that they may attack us, yes. The fact it was being a mistake I think was really good, and that should have been more the focal point, that there actually is more of a even mix of fighting and stuff and the story driven, to say that, you know, that we need to get the data for this. There is actually data on this. It's in the human side of things, or it's in it, we can access it by this bunker or something, or we're doing, you know, we're doing something to do it, and the army are trying to stop them doing it, to realise that it was actually their fault, and there's been this 10-15 year war for nothing. I think that would have worked better. But I give this a 5.5, sorry, out of 10. Yeah, as I say, the acting was good. I say the CG is done good, the vehicles and stuff, and how it was shot was really good. It was just the story. The story needed to be better. It had loopholes. I mean, I don't know if this was like 5 hours long and he's cut and swapped it and this stuff, but even the overall story and how stuff changes, it just, there are so many bits that didn't work or didn't tie in or just didn't make you link. But that's my views. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. This has been my review. Oh, as I knock the camera over. This has been my review of The Creator. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down below if you agree, disagree with my viewpoints. Otherwise, I shall see you in the next one.